Hey everybody, Shadow Phoenix here. Welcome back to Planet Coaster and Crystal Gardens. Short video here for you today, and I also want to say we've kind of gone back in time in the park here a little bit. This is a video that I started to do a while back ago and then decided to do other ones because I felt the other ones were more important, but I didn't want to leave this one out. One of the reasons I decided I kind of didn't want to do it back then is because I didn't record building the actual track or the little lakes and stuff there that are in this one, but I decided to go back and I mean, it's still an important ride. It's still a very scenic piece for the park, and I wanted to go back and kind of talk about this just kind of quick, and since there's not a whole lot of footage, I thought this would be a good one to do today because I'm really behind on like a bunch of stuff. I've been trying to keep up with videos and stuff all week, and I had to edit Lunawood episode 2, which you guys can go check out over at Beyond U89's channel. Make sure to give him a subscription as well and hit that bell for notifications because we will be going back and forth between his channel and mine with the episodes. Alright, so since I already had the layout of this built, I decided, for what I just basically will talk about in this and what I recorded was the actual construction of the stations. That's right, stations. You will notice that this antique car ride has two stations. It's two different tracks that intertwine with each other, and they play around with each other a little bit and kind of work well with each other. The idea for this comes from, once again, my favorite park, Kings Island. When their antique cars, when they had them, they had something that was very similar to this. I'm pretty sure even down to the station is pretty close, but not exactly. But they had this this really nice looking like old time covered bridge that goes over top, and then the cars would pass each other on the bridge, and then they would go around and go underneath the bridge by like a little riverside, even though it wasn't really a river, it was more just like a creek, but still, for antique cars it was kind of like a river. And I tried to capture that feeling as best I could and kind of give it my own layout and kind of give it my own kind of feel, and go for that. And this is typically, when you see me do antique cars in one of my parks, this is very much what it's going to be like, because I miss those things so much. I really do. They were so scenic and just so much fun. And I know there's a lot of other people out there who also miss these. I've built these before in other parks, and I always get the comments from people be like, oh yeah, I'm like you, I miss these too, So I know there's more people than just me who really enjoy these old rides like this. But, alright, so let's talk about the station. Well, I wanted to give it an old kind of like classic kind of feel. And about this time we had just got the Spooky Pack too. So I decided to try out the Spooky roofs for this. And I've talked about this before in one of my videos. I kind of ranted about it. But yeah, it sucks that the two sizes for the roofs are only, they're too big or they're too small. Like, there's one that's perfectly, like, the perfect size. It's a great size, but unfortunately, they used it for like chimney pieces or something, or for like accents, and it's got these like big wooden pieces that come down off the bottom of it, so you can't really use it. You can't really combine them together because then you're going to get the edges will show, the white edges, so it's just impossible to use them in almost every way. It's usable, but you really got to work with it, and you can't use it in large spaces, so that kind of sucks. So we end up with either too big of a roof or too thin of a roof. We just can't get that one that's in between. I did shout out this on Twitter one day, and Sam Danny did give it a like. So, but considering everything else is going on with Planet Coaster and Frontier and stuff, I doubt we're ever going to get anything else. They do something and they move on to whatever it is that they're going to do next. They don't go back. They don't fix things. It seems like, they mess it up and then be like, oh yeah, we'll fix that later, and they never get around it later. So they're very much procrastinators, I feel, or they just don't care. And it's like, oh well, yeah, well, we did make the fairy tale roofs edges white, but we know it's a bug. We'll fix it later. A year later, we still don't have it fixed. But I digress. So anyway, right here in this section, what you've seen me do here is I put a bunch of foliage down, and foliage always makes a ride. It really does. And I've also went in, and now I'm kind of doing this fencing right around here because, you know, we don't want guests getting down in front of the cars. We don't want them getting down into the river or the creek beds or ponds or, you know, whatever those are. I also threw some fountains down into the water as well, and I was kind of iffy about those because you have to have for those fountains that I have, you have to have a decent area, and I didn't want to do them everywhere because it just didn't really look right. So I do have the one over there on the corner and everything else. So now let's talk about the centerpiece of this entire ride, which is this bridge right here that I'm starting to build right now. So this thing, I am really, really proud of this thing. It is so simple, but when I'm done with it, it just looks so good. I'm so happy with it. The bridge that I did in Vista View for a ride like this that I did was a very, very short bridge. This one was much longer, and this kind of design worked really good on this. I think I did the other one. I did the one in Vista View. I think it was kind of a small, kind of up curved kind of bridge, you know, kind of curved upward, kind of like a I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but yeah, and this one is more of just a straight right across bridge, and I gave it this old feel, kind of like an old country kind of covered bridge to it. Yeah, like it's Madison County and this is a bridge over it, you know. But I'm so happy with how it came out, and it didn't take me long to build it at all. As you can see, I mean, this video is really short, so this did not take much time to put together. I probably will not do a showcase video for this ride at the end of it like I typically have been doing here lately, because I still have so much more work to do on this. But, you know, I started to do the video today of the River Rapids, and the River Rapids will be next weekend's episode. But I wanted to do this one today because I really kind of wanted to get into this before we get too much further. Like I said, this is one of the first rides that we put into the park here at the back of the park, and a lot of stuff kind of worked around this, and that's how we did. So these, I made these trusses. I think trusses is what the supports. We'll just call them supports. These bridge supports. I made these out of those Spooky Pack things that we got, and these worked really well for making these supports and very much give it a country feel. And that's basically the whole idea of the ride, is I just wanted to give it a very country feel. Well, anyway, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Just a short one, just wanted to get into this this build just a little bit. But I will see you guys again in the next video, and I will see you guys on Twitch later this evening. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Later. Hey everyone, if you'd like to help support me and my channel, I have a Patreon page where you can do just that. You can pledge anything from $1 or more. Anyone who pledges $15 or more gets a unique, specially designed roller coaster and Planet Coaster made just for them. My little way of saying thanks. You can also just send donations as well if you don't want to join Patreon. And you can find those links in the video description below. Every tiny red cent I make from these means the world to me and is extremely helpful. If you're interested in my PC setup that I work with and play on that you see here, every piece of the system is described below with links to Amazon if you want to purchase them or anything else. Thanks for tuning in to my videos and my channel. If you aren't already a subscriber, click that on the screen below. And you can also check out a few of my other videos on the screen here as well. You can keep up to date on what's going on in my own little world via Twitter or watch me stream live on Twitch as well. Links are in the video description below. So wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night.